as a faith-based couple who took your spiritual work seriously, finding yourself in this kind of situation, how did it affect your spiritual work?
I'll need to be very realistic here.
Please be.
There were periods when my major prayer was that God should help me doubt my doubts, because I mean, you will have pronouncements made, you're actually virtually ticking all the right boxes, doing what you're supposed to do, diligent in service, praying, confessing and all that, but it still didn't happen. Sometimes things like that can make you re-examine what you hold as beliefs. I mean, if not for a foundation that is strong, what we went through, I'm sure many people have not gone through stuff like that, and they've given up on the entire faith, on faith. Faith was very important for us, even though we still made sure we did the right thing medically, but faith was very important for us. And it was a major test of faith. I wouldn't lie. It was a major test of faith. Sometimes you're unmotivated to even do what you're supposed to do, because you're like, I mean, all the ones I've done in the past, there should be like a big reserve somewhere. There should be a big reserve somewhere. I mean, because I've said the same thing 1,001 times. But then sometimes you also remember that even the parents of John the Baptist, I want to believe they were very upright folks.
Yeah.
But they had to wait a long time.
They had to wait a long time.
You get. And I'm actually, in fact, even in reality, I know folks that I can say in quotes were more, I can say like, these ones are very holy. But they are going through the same thing. So I'm like, wow, if this person or if these folks can be going through stuff like this, then the fact that you're in faith does not really, it's not saying that you're not going to go through life's issues. The fact that you're in faith does not really, it's not saying that you're not going to go through life's issues. I just feel like eventually one will get to a point where you're not wasting the pain. God finds a way to redirect it for good. And I think that's what I can say I've been through.
So let me ask the question in your own case. Let me tweak it a little. So you knowing all there is to know as an ops and gynae specialist, you knowing all there is to know, how does the failure in those tests, no, not the failure now, not the failure, it's the symptoms, how does it affect your faith? So now you know that, oh, for this thing to work, if this thing has actually worked, you are supposed to feel like this, you are supposed to feel like this, you are supposed to feel like this. If you are feeling like this or like this, it meant that thing did not work. And your faith will tell you that you believe the unseen. You believe in the things that are not as though they are. But your training is telling you, if you are seeing this thing, pregnancy is not there. How did you cope? How did you manage those contradictions in your mind?
Hey. I literally was like, so, you know these cartoons where you have like an angel on the right, the devil on the right, on the other side? I literally was like the angel on the side. I was the word police, the confession police. Don't say that. Have faith. I know. It's not looking like it, but don't say that. Don't say that. So that you're not, so that it's not, you get. But
your words carry power.
Your words carry power. Stuff like that. Oh, God.
So for me, initially, you know, we've done this, and then I'm trying to relate it to him that this thing is not
looking
like it. Then I get, no, you don't say that, don't do that, don't do that. So there was this part whereby there was a tension between our knowledge and our faith. And then we had to come to that point where we had to understand that there is medical and there is spiritual. So when we are in the medical, when we are talking medical, we are talking medical. Then when we want to go spiritual, so we find ourselves talking, okay, this is what the medical has said rather, but this is what we are going to agree on. So that's how we were able to finally find that balance between, oh, okay, we have been told this is what the result is saying. And I understand the interpretation of that result and how bad or how the depth of it. But I had to disengage my mind from it. That, okay, they've said this. I understand it. But what does the Bible say? And from the place of counseling, we had that encouragement that, okay, it has been said this way. What does the Word of God say about it?
In fact, we had a confession document that we actually added some things to. So, because I still remember it. So each time we're confessing, we get to some points, then we had some medical terminologies to it to balance it and make it a bit more relatable to us. You understand? So we'll actually write all those medical terminologies, what we wanted to see medically, so that because it was like this, it was negating. The realities was negating
what your faith stands for.
I mean, you get to some points, everything is pointing towards, oh, she's pregnant. Oh, she's feeling nauseous. Oh, could it be? She's having some weird cravings. Oh, could it be? I mean, it was a battle. It was a battle.
Now, Mummy, I want to add something to what he just said. So now, even right now, when I'm encouraging people, especially at work, when I have to deal with couples like that, and then, you know, Africa, they tend to bind the doctor a lot. Like, no, that's not my portion. I reject it. I bind it. So what I just tell them, speaking from that point, that I've once experienced what they are experiencing, I tell them that, okay, this is what you should do as a Christian person, that, okay, understand what I'm telling you. I'm not saying that is what it is. I'm not saying accept it as what it should be for you. But understand what I am saying, such that when you are praying, you'll be specific.
What to pray
okay,
about.
If your issue is fibroid, if your issue is low sperm count, or whatever the issue is, you are not saying, God, give me children, God, give me children. You are saying, God please address this issue of low sperm. Surprise my doctor. I'll tell them, surprise me. Tell God to surprise me. So that way they feel, okay, this doctor is
can relate with us.
us.
So I know that you are picking valuable points from their experience. Your doctor is not the enemy. Your doctor is not the devil to bind. Your doctor is tracing the matter to the roots, so that when you want to exercise your faith, you would know the exact point to focus your attention at. So for a child-seeking couple, sex is not fun. Sex is work. Whether you want it, you don't want it, you like it, you don't like it, whether you are in the mood for it, you are not in the mood for it. In fact, calendar will tell you when to have sex. So after taking this particular drug, then you must have sex together between this number of days. How did you cope?
Oh boy. Sex is supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
But found out the hard way, because sex is also a bit more. I discovered that sex is very mental. The sex, your mind, the state of your mind also affects sex. I got to find out during that period, because the moment I knew that this was for a purpose,
tension.
The tension.
Like a performance stage.
Performance tension.
I won't lie. I don't know. Maybe
No,
whichever
people
man
that have experienced it will be
whichever
able
man
to
that is
relate.
listening would know that you will get to that point, and then what is supposed to work is not
It's
working.
not working. It's not cooperating.
It's not cooperating
Because the mind
because your mind
messed
is
up.
under immense pressure. So we devised a way. I mean, my wife devised a way forward, because at a point I had to start on learning dates and calendars and stuff like that. So we would just meet just without any premonition or any idea of, okay, we're doing this for this, we're doing this for that, because sex becomes very mechanical and like, it's like a chore. It becomes like a chore that you have to just get over and just do. So at that point, even if she has said something that offended you, you still have to perform, you still have to do what you have to do. But you are probably angry at something she has said, and then you find out that the state of your mind is also a key factor in that. But the truth is that the responsibility has to trump whatever emotions you're having. You have to just figure out a way. Every couple has to figure out a way around it. We figured out a way around it by not dwelling too much on the dates, on the reason, on the why, on the this. So yes, taking out the tension was probably a way that helped us.
Okay. I want to add something to that. So, I would also like to speak from a woman's perspective to it. So, because of the way God has designed the woman's reproductive system, we work with dating system, we work with a cycle. If you don't achieve it in this month, a man can always impregnate a woman at any day, anytime. But that anxiety that if I don't get it this month, it's next month. The opportunity is
lost this month.
So that anxiety builds up. So I just want to encourage anybody going through this situation, because like you said, we learned in a hard way. I found that I understood that there was friction. We won't fight at the beginning of the cycle. We'll be cool towards the end when we are waiting. It's that period. There will be tension, there will be pressure. So I decided that I won't even let him know. I won't even let him know when this menstrual flow has ended. I won't let him know anything. And for the woman out there, that ovulation fertility period, no matter how hungry he's trying to make me, I'll be the most peaceful, the most happy, and then you'll be like, I'm sure you need to be wondering that why is this woman just so gentle? Like,
I need your contribution.
Exactly. Because ovulation just comes out, there's a golden period. So, and it's just in a day. The sperm can go and wait, but the egg comes out. So if you miss that golden period, it's done. So it just I make sure that okay, that day he eats well, I give him good food, make him happy, so there's no tension. So that's how we're able to devise that.
Thank you for being so open, honest, and practical, so that people can pick courage from the journey you went through. So the question is, what was your reaction eventually when you tested positive? I want to know yours. I want to know his.
Okay. So what happened was I was feeling funny.
Okay.
And knowing that after all these years of feeling funny, I didn't take it serious. It's just one of those funny that let me just give it some time and days. But it was reoccurring. So I was like, we had a lot of strips at the time, just lying everywhere in the house.
You so already said it was a strip ambassador.
He tried. Yeah. So I just was like, okay, I just found one, and I didn't even put my eyes to it. I just left it, and then when I was done, I was just like, let me even look at the thing. So oh my God, I was so shocked. And it was around at that time. I this packaging of, I will put it inside a bunny, I will tell him, guess what? It was my scream. Like, what? She ran and what was it? And then I saw it and it was so exciting. I'll let him speak for himself.
So what was your reaction when you discovered that it has eventually happened? She's pregnant.
Okay, so prior to that period, we got into a point where we just in quote entered our rest in a way. So we had stopped the monthly expectation because it was leading to massive hurts. So I was not even expecting anything. I think it was October 1st,
Yes, October 1st, 2022.
It was Independence Day. I was just at home. I was home that day, sitting in the bedroom, and suddenly I heard that scream. What is it again?
What is it again?
Sorry, I mean, I had to just go like, God help me. So I went in there and she showed me the strip.
With double lines.
So at the beginning, it wasn't very clear.
Okay.
Because we had gone through this before. So we had this method where we'll take my phone, the touch of my phone, put it under the strip, just to be sure that there is a second line. We had gone through that a lot of times where we felt we saw something
and it
wasn't there. So probably after like a couple of hours, we would see that bold one line. So I guess this was
crashed hopes.
Yeah, so in my mind this was another one. So but this was different. It was very faint. I mean, if you didn't pay attention, you could almost not miss it. I mean, I still have that picture.
Oh,
yes.
I saved that picture because it was very faint, but it was there. So we did another one. So I could not scream, I was excited, but I could not. So, you know, like where you say that, when this thing finally happens, I'm going to do this
way.
I'm going to do that. Oh, it wasn't like that for me because I didn't know how to react. I was a bit dumbfounded, like just like that.
After waiting
all these years, just like that, it has happened. So we did a follow-up test. We now finally saw it. I mean, it's
actually there.
It was one of the most wonderful days of my life because it just came out of the blues. It wasn't one of those days where we're eagerly waiting and checking and all that. So it was an awesome period, and I mean, tears came to my eyes.
Definitely.
I cried.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of memories started playing back.
In your head.
A lot of filled. I mean, a lot of one-liners happened, and finally we're seeing this. So it was a very emotional one for us.
So I just wanted to remind us. So it's not like we had never gotten pregnant before this. We had gotten pregnant when we were just like, okay, let's just start trying. Then it was like maybe 6 months after we decided that we should start trying, then we had a miscarriage. So when I was so excited that, okay, so after that one, we waited like another 4 or 5 years now down the line before we now had this. So I was excited that after so many years, and I finally saw 2 lines again. We kept dipping every morning to see how darker it's getting. But I just want to say this to encourage someone out
there. That your mind might be traveling back.
Who has been dealing with recurrence, because there are different forms and different, how will I say now, different ways infertility displays. Okay, some they find easy to get it, but they lose it. So I just want to use this to encourage that person that I found myself after the moment of excitement, the thought started coming that
you remember 5 years ago when you had it and you lost it,
and then you lost it also. So I found myself staying in bed. But one thing I kept me through that period was I told myself, like, no, I have waited another 4 or 5 years to now be negative. this has happened. The gift of God is without repentance. And then when we lost that first son, we had the understanding that, okay, that should be like the title of whatever pregnancy we should have had. So we failed.
Spiritual people, you have tied it to spiritual thing again. Wow.
So, okay, so then we were like, so that was how I was able to overcome. I took it one day
at a time. So how did you break the news to your mom? Because I kind of know that normally in a family where conception has been an issue, the parents are often genuinely concerned. And in this case, I think the surviving parent is the mom. So how did you break the news to mommy that eventually God has done it?
Okay, we felt it was too weighty to say over the phone. So during one of our visits, we had taken, after entertaining her and all that, we presented dessert.
You presented dessert?
We presented dessert, and it was the test strip.
Wow.
Inside the dish. Well, we were aiming for the dramatic, though. We were aiming for the dramatic.
For mommy's dessert,
yeah,
you placed the positive test strip inside the bowl.
In the bowl.
We covered it.
So I don't know if she didn't know what it was, or she also was in shock. When she saw it, when she opened it, she was like, "What?" She said, "What's this?" Kilele. Is this what I think it is? Oh Lord, I still have that video. Oh my goodness, she was rolling all over the floor, I mean, she was she had all the joy that we had in her heart. She had it. It was awesome. It was an awesome moment for us.
So lastly, for a couple that has weathered this storm and have come out victorious, what do you have to tell people that are still going through theirs? Both from spiritual perspective, from experience perspective, from medical perspective, anywhere. What do you have to tell the people that are still going through theirs?
Okay, so for the benefit of those who are not yet married, so that they can at least take something away from this episode. Once you decide that, okay, I want to get married, I am at the age where I should get married, you don't have to necessarily wait till you are married and then you now want to start having children. I advise, go and know your fertility status.
So as a single, you can walk to the hospital and get your fertility status checked?
Yes.
Okay.
Such that if there's any issue, like maybe for the woman PCOS, it can be attended to
even
on time.
Before.
Because the more delay you have, the more challenging it might be. So go on time. Have that understanding. Know where you are having any challenge, if there is any. And even if there is no challenge, at least know the baseline you started marriage with. Know what you started. So that's the first advice I'm going to for the singles. And then when you are married, normally
can a man too walk in as a single to check the fertility status?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to know, okay, I'm a young man, what's my sperm count?
Okay.
Do I have any infection going on?
Okay.
That is not manifesting, that is harmful to the sperms.
Okay.
Okay. So then another thing I would advise is this. Although we can't say a couple is infertile until they've had 1 year of uninterrupted, consistent or protected sexual intercourse. So, but nevertheless, with the trends we are seeing now, with the kind of diet, environmental factors, I don't usually encourage staying for one year. You've tried at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months at most. Just go. Let them even know that, okay, everything is fine. Because there's also a pain of waiting for years only to find out that had I known. That's pain of had I known. So at least you exclude that. Then another advice I'll give is it's male and female. It's not every time it's going to be both maybe male and female. And you know, in this environment where we find ourselves, there's this tendency to say, I'm not the one with the problem, you are the one with the problem. So what I'll just advise is be a united front. No matter who has the challenge. And then there's some information that you should keep to yourself. Really. Let people be wondering why. It's not in their place to know why.
Exactly what is it.
Because what that does for you is it preserves you. Imagine you've told maybe your best friend, you've told everybody, acquaintances around you, this is what we're happening. There's going to be some loss of respect for your marriage, some loss of respect for you yourself. And then eventually you find that you even be more hurt.
Yeah.
Because they'll ask you questions.
Of course, and
that thing you went for
on the particular person.
Don't you think you should do that? There will be a lot of noise. A lot of noise. I have one. That's when you start getting pressure to do things you shouldn't do, like maybe forced pregnancy and then buying babies and all manner is out there. So just keep it private. Keep it private. You can definitely share with trusted people. And when I mean trusted people, people who, you know, I've gone through that, people who can counsel you, people who have integrity, and you know what you've told them stays with them, and then they can support you. So that's another thing I would like to advise them: enter into your rest, because I've realized that when you're anxious as a woman, your hormones will be imbalanced. There's a place where it was until I can say we entered our rest, we had like thrown our hands that God will never. So just enter into your rest. Don't be anxious.
Thank you.
Anxious.
Any addition? Especially from a man's perspective.
Said everything. But as a man, one major thing I want to say is that you should acknowledge how you also feel, and don't discard it. It's easier to provide strength from a place of strength, and it's easier
to provide strength from a place of strength.
And if you are utterly discouraged yourself, you will not be able to encourage your wife. Please shield your wife from both friendly and unfriendly attacks, because the ones that
shield your wife from friendly and unfriendly attacks during your waiting period,
because the ones that hurt more are the friendly comments that said, people are very concerned, they mean well,
but they're not sensitive.
They are not very sensitive, so a lot of words could be said, and you'll be the one to have to nurse your wife when
damage control
you get. So it's best to just create a circle of trust around your family. Have a support system. It's very important. In our case, we had close family. We have like a close-knit family system that helped us, because we didn't really go through that in-law or family pressure and all that. It was more about prayer, support, and encouragement. So that can be overemphasized, you understand? And please use your medicine. Whatever medicine you're given, drug compliance is very, very important.
Please, especially for extremely spiritual people.
Yes.
Medicine is not a sin. Medicine is not the enemy. Among the people that followed Jesus as his disciples, Luke was a physician.
Exactly.
So please, don't see having medical consultations as backsliding. Don't see it as not working in faith. They don't disturb themselves. In fact, sometimes your statement of faith in God might be putting to work the things you are supposed to do medically. So that's a very strong one. And I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, man.
And I know that very soon,
Amen.
Amen.
we are coming again
Amen.
to come and chop another rice.
Amen. By God's grace. Amen.
And I want to believe, whether you are in the waiting period or you are not, you've learned things that are valuable enough to impact lives. If you have a friend that is waiting, a friend that is struggling with conception, you know what to tell them now. And you can even refer them to come and listen to the episode so that they can hear it directly from the horse's mouth, knowing that they have both the professional experience and the personal experience. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank
you for being so down to earth and being so vulnerable in order to be able to bless others. I really appreciate that. And to the people at home, I want to say thank you for tuning in today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hello everyone. Welcome to Ask the Love Doctor, where I pick questions sent to me and I answer them. Today, the question I will be treating said, my spouse cheated on me and is begging for forgiveness. I am deeply hurt and can't seem to forgive immediately. Does that make me a bad person? And my answer to you will be no, that does not make you a bad person. When infidelity happens in marriage, trust is shattered. Not only is trust shattered, your mental picture of how your marriage was before that incident gets destroyed. You might have a mental picture that we are doing good, we are fine, everybody is happy in this marriage, I'm happy, my spouse is happy. But with the occurrence of that infidelity, it gives you a rude shock that the mental picture you had about how your marriage was is only in your own head. It is not the reality of your spouse. And the shattering of that mental picture brings about disappointment and hurt. Then the fact that you believe you love yourself and your love for your spouse should be sufficient, but the infidelity showed that it's not sufficient, would also wound you deeply. So the fact that you are not ready to forgive immediately doesn't mean you are a bad person. You can take your time. Take your time to process the hurt. Take your time to process the pain. Take your time to objectively look at what went wrong with your marriage, what went wrong with your spouse that led to what happened. And you should also be objective enough to ask yourself if there be any way you have aided and abetted that act of misbehavior. And when you are up to it, forgive the person. And I'm not saying you should forgive the person necessarily because the person deserves it. Forgive the person because you need to walk past it. If you hold on to unforgiveness, it leads to bitterness. And when bitterness is held on to over a period of time, it can affect your hormonal balance. And hormonal imbalance leads to some psychosomatic sicknesses. It makes you prone to illnesses that medically cannot be treated because it wasn't medically caused. It can shorten your life, it can make you unhealthy, it can get you sickly, and you don't want to attract that to yourself as a result of the lack of indiscretion of your spouse. So, walk through it, take the time you need, but forgive them. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation. Reconciliation back to what your marriage used to be, back to how you used to be, will be largely dependent on how they act and what they do after the discovery of that act of infidelity. But you owe yourself to forgive them in order for your own life to move forward, in order for your health to be stabilized, and in order for you not to punish yourself after being a victim of the wrong that has been done to you. So take your time, but please, after taking your time, forgive them and move on. I hope I answered your question. See you next time. Thank you.